Welcome, friends. Welcome to the Love Your Life show. And I'm Beverley Buckley, and I'm interviewing Aurora, who's going to be speaking to us about only love being real. Aurora Hammond lives in Sydney, Australia. She has been an explorer of consciousness for over 40 years through her professional training and teachings as a clinical psychotherapist and university lecturer, as well as her spiritual adventures in Europe, the US, India, Costa Rica, Bali, to name a few. Aurora has been combining her love of crystals and the earth with her awareness of other dimensions and timelines, not necessarily in this world or even this galaxy. Sessions, workshops in which the theme soul heart reunion as we move into more and more love for ourselves and our lives. So without further ado, I'd like to you the beautiful, the wonderful, the amazing, I'm so excited, yeah! And also, I just want to mention we've got some people saying hello in the room. So, hello, Cole. Hello, Deanne. Hello, Roxanne. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Renee. Hello, Susie. Hello, Christina. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How exciting is this? And Aurora, welcome to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Beverley. And just to say that Beverley is in Peru and has gotten up at 3 o'clock in the morning to be here at a reasonable time for Aussies, which is great because we're normally on calls all over the world and getting up at weird hours ourselves. So thanks, Beverley. Get up at 3 a.m. to be with us tonight. It's fantastic. Appreciate it.
Yay, yay. So Aurora, just so that we took a trip to the local town Cusco to get better internet signal, although it is Peru, so my internet signal is as good as my internet signal is, and they kind of just shrug when you say, what can I do about the internet? They just go, oh, well. But the main thing that's here is you and all that you're going to be sharing with us today about only love being real, and also about a brand new project that you've just started, which is quite exciting, that you've been, it's kind of been a surface and now it's ready to be birthed. So I'm excited to be a part of you.
Thank you. Yes, well, as you said, this is a great adventure for me to be on the webinar, and I'm so grateful people have come to a class so that I can have a class with people with us all in our homes and be connected in this way, which is a tool that I really love, connecting with my teachers and people that I learn from. And I really love this form of teaching and being together. So Only Love is Real has come to me as a theme. Some of you I know that my teacher, Rika Zimmerman, I'm one of her life transformed coaches, was recently in Australia, and quite a bit of her teaching was the phrase Only Love is Real, which I've been really sitting with and found to be such an incredible tool in my own life, and is opening up more and more to how I can be with myself in tricky times and moments, and how I can be with my clients in all the different modalities that I work in. And I just thought it was a great opportunity to do this now, a few weeks before Christmas and the New Year, because as we can all aware, I think most people on the call are probably quite sensitive to lots of things in our environment. The world is really in a state of upheaval, and the energies are shifting, and we've thought this time was coming for a long time, and here we are in a stage of, really, it feels to me, going into a very new energy frequency for 2017. And I myself am planning great and exciting changes, the first of which is going to be in January during my class that I'm going to be having online. I'm going to be having eye surgery and removing my glasses permanently from my face. So that's going to be a great way for me to start the new year, seeing clearly and seeing everything. I'm very excited about that. It feels quite symbolic to me. And so that's one of the changes, and there are many changes that are going to be happening this next year for all of us. And I thought it would be a great idea to have a group or a community together So a lot of us in Australia are traveling in January. It's summer holidays here. To just check in and be having a class and a time together every week for that month to really start orienting ourselves to the way we're going to be and be living this way with our soul-heart connection and our soul-heart reunion. And that phrase came to me in a meditation, and I'm loving this. I mean, it will be and is an endless exploration of what that means and what that entails, the various ways and tools that we have to connect into the energy of our soul and really start to feel that different energy coming through and connect into our hearts and the energy of universal love. Because in Only Love is Real, the mind, of course, wants to make a lot of other things real. And I'm always struck when I'm at a workshop or a class or a program, people say, oh, and now I have to go back to the real world. And, you know, I often just say, what if that's not the real world at all? And that this place that we sit in when we meditate, when we connect deeply, when we expand our field into another frequency, you know, quantum physics and quantum science is saying actually the physical matter, what seems real to our senses is not as real as we may think. And that this frequency of love, what we know when we start to explore it, what we find is that it really starts to shift our inner world, our inner experience, and most importantly and vibrantly, our connection to our own heart and our own self. And I spend a lot of time with people and with myself in various moments of anxiety, questioning, you know, feeling like there's not quite enough support here on the planet, finding life clunky, you know, technology, but just life, cars, driving, making it all happen. And we tend to think, oh, that's the real world, we have to deal with that. But when, you know, we're really kind of feeling bruised and battered by that energy, and sometimes very displaced and very desolate with that energy, you know, is the time when we're looking for what is really going on here? What is this really about? What am I really about? Who is the real me? What the hell am I doing here, you know, with all this stuff? And, you know, I think when we listen to all the great spiritual teachers and masters on the planet, we again and again hear these remarkable stories, moments, if you will, dark nights of the soul that poets would write about, where people have, in a way, been forced by the depth of their circumstances to dive into this very deep place within themselves and to meet there, as many would say, the one we've been waiting for all along, which is our own heart and our own soul in an experience of truth. And what I know, as I have been able to over the last few years really start to shift where I'm identifying myself and what's real in my life and in me, more out of the mind, trying to figure it out and make things work and seem logical, and into that soul heart connection. Of course, different fields of knowing, different ways of being start really opening up and starting to be. So I'm just going to check in that we're all still here and and that I'm not talking to myself. So Bev, are you there? And what are you seeing?
Yes, we're here. We can hear you. We have 37 Great. Friends playing with us in the room today. 37. Fantastic. 37. Wow. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put the link for if anyone wants to find out about that as we're going through. Obviously, we're going to be going a bit more deeper into how Only Love is Real and what you've experienced with that. But just for anyone who would like to know, would like to have a look, if you would like to see what the goodies that through, you can go and have a look at this little page that I'm going to be posting here in a minute. Just typing it out here as you were speaking. I was busy just putting it there. So thank you everyone for joining us today. Wonderful. So yes, there you are, Aurora. The floor is yours.
Great, fantastic. Thank you. So diving into the space of this love, you know, I find that our human minds have a lot of beliefs about love. And one of the key ones that most of us get hooked on is that love is a thing that we have to deserve, that we have to be good enough to receive, that we somehow have to earn it or be pretty enough or smart enough or something enough to be loved. And we would all know that that's a very conditional experience of love. And it also, of course, the pursuit of that love leads to a great dependency on the people that we think can give it to us, should give it to us, aren't giving it to us enough, aren't giving it to us in a way we can understand. And so then we end up in our family relationships, our love relationships, our friendship relationships can end up with a lot of turmoil or disappointment or confusion or guilt, all those really tricky feelings. And one of the things I find myself saying to clients a lot recently is, and that has nothing to do with love, and that has nothing to do with love. And so, love is not a transaction. And this love that we're talking about is the experience we have when we're looking at the stars, when we're breathing in a sunset, when we're holding a baby or gazing at a flower, those moments when we really take a gasp, we light up and we take that inspiration where we breathe in and we feel this connection to that creative energy that is greater than us and that indeed created us. That, the Bible and other texts would say God is love. And I know some people are not comfortable, and I wasn't for many, many years with the word or name God, source, life, love, us, creation, all of that, that it's clear that the energy of love, the creativity of love, the clarity of love is that source, is that energy. And there are many ways in which we've been disconnected from that for ourselves. And one of the main ways that happens is in our relationship to our body. And that's something that I'm really going to be talking about in January when we have if people want to join me for this 4-week class that I'm going to do, because in our culture, we have been taught to judge our body, to criticize our body, and to fear our body. And this is such a disconnect and such a waste, if you will. And when you think about what you mainly think about your own body and your relationship with your body, mostly we look in the mirror and we criticize various things about it, and we all have our little pet things, or we talk about its weight or its size or its shape or it's this or it's that. And of course, we can always find it wanting, and we can always find something to judge and criticize. And the other thing, if we're not doing that, the other thing we've been taught to do is to fear our body. So much of the health wellness movement is really about trying to avoid illness, about trying to outsmart diseases, about if we do the right things, the body will, be good to us. And of course, none of that is about love either. And yet here we are in this remarkable vehicle, if you will, for our consciousness that enables us to be on this amazing planet and to be part of nature and to be part of what is happening here. And, as scientists look more and more into the cells and the subatomic particles in the cells and the mitochondria in the cells, which actually emit photons of light out of our cells, which is just so remarkable, then we start to develop a sense of complete awe about who we really are that is inhabiting this remarkable organic creation, animal organism, however we like to think about our beautiful, beloved bodies, because they are these extraordinary expressions of love. And, when we talk about loving ourselves or loving our bodies, most people get hooked on they can't do that because they can't find a way to approve of themselves enough to love it, or to come out of judgment. And I have had an interesting experience the other day with myself. It was like I dropped into a whole other pocket of judgment that I had of myself that I hadn't even really been aware of. It was like feelings of, discomfort and not wanting to do things, or resistance or pushing back at things. And when I really dropped into that through that kind of connection into the heart, I just saw that there was a whole other range of judgments that I had, where I was judging myself as not good enough to do something, or not showing up in the right way. So my experience with this judgment and this disconnect that we have from ourselves is that it's many layered, and that bringing ourselves to it with awareness and love is a fascinating and ongoing exploration that brings us into this frequency of connecting to, when I drop into my body, when I drop into my cells and my consciousness, what I keep finding there, once I move through all that other energy, is love, is this energy of love. It's alive in me. It's not something somebody has to give me, or even I have to give myself. It actually is the very frequency of which I am made. And that's a very different way for most of us to enter a relationship with ourselves. So Only Love is Real is, to me, a place where I can step back into and think about diving deep into my physical self, my emotional self, my very being, and keep finding that love as the reality that underlies everything. So this is, they're words that I've heard for a long time, and I'm just opening up into a whole new way of exploring them and being with them. And really excited to be sharing that journey and assisting people to open up to what that might look and sound like. What does love in action for ourselves look like and sound like? And, I think in the popular culture, it kind of looks like having a fluffy bath, or, being nice to yourself, or taking care of yourself. And I think that's all become fairly cliched, and people can go through those motions without really engaging in this deeper connection with who we really are, and at the source, at the love at the source. So I'm just going to pause there and take a breath and see if there's any comments or questions or anything coming in at this point.
Hi, I just need, because I'm muting myself, so like make noise while I'm busy typing in the background here. I'm busy typing to everyone because people are asking me questions. So we have Christina. Christina was asking for the link, and Susie was just asking will the Soul Heart reunion be taking place in Jan? So I have put it there in the chat as well. It will be every Wednesday. Sorry, my bad. Every Wednesday. It's Wednesday, not Tuesday. Wednesday. Today. Yesterday was Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. It's every Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the evening. Am I saying that right, Aurora? Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. from the 4th to the 20th to the 20th. So I don't know if you can hear me. Aurora, you want to go in there?
So every Wednesday at 8 p.m. at this time that we're doing now. Yeah. So you said 7.
So it's the Wednesdays.
Yeah. I know it's Tuesday for you. These time zones are really tricky. But we are a global family and a global community, and I love that about us.
Yes. And the dates of it are the 4th. I think it's the, what was it? The 4th, the 11th, I think it was, the 18th, okay. The 11th, the 18th, and the 25th. Just putting it here. 11.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is working. Okay. But anyway, I'm putting it in the chat. So if anyone wants to know, 18th, and so there we go. And I may have got, I think it was 8 p.m. Aurora.
Yep, the 18th and the 25th. Yep, great. Yeah. So what I'm excited about for that is that,
yes.
Yep, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I'm going to put myself on mute.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm excited about just spending the first month of the year, which is often, in my experience, we're away, we're disconnected, we're moving around. And what I'm loving about the starting to explore the online space is wherever we are, we can tune in for an hour and connect our fields together and have this supportive activation of this new energy to really start as we step into the new year. Because I often find that the energy gets quite fragmented, and so I'm loving the idea of having these starting the year with this soul heart reunion, because what I really get about next year is it's going to be so important for us to be staying connected to our soul heart connection, because there's a lot of change going on in the world, a lot of new energy, fear and unrest, and I'm thinking about the politics world and the world that most people think of as what is happening. But we know that a process of great change has to happen, because there are many of us who are exploring consciousness who are really committed to being part of a change for the better and holding the energy of this love and of this field, so that there is a loving field for all of these energies to transmute into, rather than a fear or a judgment of Donald Trump or whoever as being wrong, about, or crazy. It's like all of that stuff is happening, and we are really knowing that bringing through our energies more and more fully is our contribution, and our contribution to ourselves and to the planet and to that field. And what I'm enjoying experiencing so much is that it feels to me just easier to connect with that energy, that it's very available to us, and that when we meditate and just sit in the field. I know everybody on the call probably isn't as familiar with that, but one of the doorways, if you will, that meditation opens up is the place to explore what people have talked about for years, thousands of years, as consciousness, as that experience of ourselves as more than our mind, as more than our body, as more than our emotions, and as more than our story. And our story is important, and what our minds and our brains do are important in that they have a huge impact on us. And this is again where I'm loving shifting to Only Love is Real, to help my brain really reconfigure itself to a much calmer, more balanced way of being. Because only the mind can generate fear. The heart, the awareness of the heart, if you will, when we take our energy and attention down to the heart, what I've noticed is there's no judgment in the heart and there's no fear in the heart. And that really struck me one day when I was having a lot of fear running in my brain, and I was kind of on a chemical wave that, when the brain kicks in, the amygdala starts pumping out all that cortisol, and you just go, whoa, I'm on the chemical wave of the fear. And so what I do is I sit and meditate in those moments, and I dropped into my heart. I went, wow, there's actually no fear in this chamber of my heart. And I kind of could see it as a chamber. I thought, that of course, only the mind can generate fear by projecting itself into the future, by calling memories out of the past, by saying things like, wait, the other shoe might be going to fall, or wait, it's going to get worse. And that is all the mind producing those tapes, if you will, those repetitive thoughts that are linked to what's happening in the brain and what's happened to us in the past in the brain. And what's interesting, many of you will know that I love all the neuroplastic research, and how starting to understand how the brain works is helping us work with the mind and work with the consciousness to open that up beyond the mind. So as we're starting to understand how much of this is driven by what's happened in the brain and by how the brain's been programmed, we also know that 95% of what's in the brain is out of our awareness, but it does show up in the things we say to ourselves and in the contents of the mind. So, this is nobody has the answers to this. There are some neuroscientists are just starting to explore this. We've got all the traditions of the, spiritual teachings over the years, but there's not a lot of agreement. If you look at the the science, the psychology, the spirituality, the neuroscience, there's not a lot of agreement about what the mind is, how it relates to the brain, how they relate to consciousness. And I think that's a really interesting exploration that I'm engaging in every day. And as we then play with the energy of love in relation to that, because the mind and the brain are usually running our sense of what's real, and they are determining for us our experience of what reality is. And they're saying, you know, no, this is real. And we know that in any moment, the eyes are seeing over 7,000 things are being registered in the eyes, but the brain is only selecting about 5% of those to actually allow into our consciousness. So that's really interesting, because then we start to see how even our experience of what is real is very limited, reduced, boxed in by the brain and by the brain's conditioning. And that's why, again, meditation starts to open up that field of awareness for us and go, you know, what I've been seeing is real about myself, what I've been thinking of as real about the world I live in, it's all actually up for redefinition. It's all actually up for grabs, in a sense, because, you know, the mind is interpreting this all the time according to its beliefs, its understanding of what it should do, of what it has to do. Most of us have been really trained that we have to think this way. You know, we have to think about the money. We have to be realistic. We have to think about what makes sense. We have to do that because it's just silly not to. And yet when we shift into this consciousness of, and what if only that creative energy of the universe is real? What if that, when we look at the universe is exploding with billions and billions of stars, that huge creativity being generated, what if that is what is real? Then me sitting here trying to figure it out and put it into a box and make it manageable and get under control seems, you know, really unrealistic and like a bit of a joke in a sense. So this is the kind of brain stretch, if you like, that I love to kind of run across from, yes, this did happen to your brain, got your brain looping on these programs. Yes, your mind wants to keep telling you that it can figure it out for you and that your mind is God and knows what you should be doing and what you should be feeling. And yet when we step into our consciousness and, if you will, start connecting with soul, higher self, higher consciousness, some field that we know exists because we feel the impact of it, we start to have different experiences. So this is not about beliefs. It's not about, I believe in a soul or I believe in, you know, God even. It's not about beliefs. It's about exploring where the mind can go and can take us when we start to unhook it from, I have to figure out and define reality, and we start to allow it into, okay, mind, let's just go out there into the stars and see what's there. Let's just go into our heart and see what's there and see what comes into our awareness. And what I know happens there is that the brain starts to function differently, the mind starts to have a different conversation, and our body experiences different things. We experience different sensations. Often we feel a sense of that peace we've been looking for and that love. And really this year I've started to notice when I go to that place that I just spontaneously, a smile comes onto my face while I'm meditating. And, you know, it's just kind of like this joy starts to come from within me, and nothing, you know, nothing has happened to make that happen. It's not dependent on outside events or on other people or on things improving or things going well. It's an experience I'm having of that soul heart reunion, that soul heart connection. So I'm just going to take a breather and see if
I love you. I love you, Aurora. You're so funny. Like, okay, right. So now I'm going to breathe.
Well, normally when you're teaching, I'm not seeing my 37 faces, so I can't see them nodding or smiling or frowning or, you know, so it's a very interesting experience to be talking to an iPad, really.
Yes, and I must say, Aurora really, I mean, we've had quite a bit of, you know, things where we've been looking at how this is going to work and how we're going to structure this. And it is also from the perspective of online, this is a kind of new space for Aurora, but she wants to allow to expand this message even more. And that was when we had our first conversation about this. She said, you know, I want to be able to take this to more people, and I want to be able to share this gift. And Mira, is it Mira? Is saying, keep breathing and talking. Very interesting. Roxanne is saying, I'm smiling. Christina's saying, thanks, Bev. So hot. Let our mind be led by our heart and soul. I love it. And saying she's loving it as well. So we have got a lot of heads nodding, even though you might not be able to see them. You can certainly feel them.
Yes.
Take a deep breath.
Yes. I love that. What I'm looking at is you in a hotel room in Peru, which is just a blast, really, isn't it? So I just love that. Because, you know, Bev, you're on your soul journey. I mean, just to share with everyone for a minute, Beverley's from South Africa, and she's tuned into her heart and soul and gone to Peru and spent her birthday in Machu Picchu, and at the same time is developing this gorgeous program of Love Your Life show, which I love that about you. And I love that, you know, I'm getting to connect with people via Peru and via you. It's so gorgeous. So I just wanted to bring that into the space, because every time we connect, that beautiful energy starts coming in. And I love that, you know, that global family is really, this is how we kind of spread this energy literally around the world. So fabulous.
Well, thank you, Aurora, and thank you everyone for being on so much more exciting, you know.
Yeah. So I just want to share with everybody that this is my friend who's helping me today on the call, and this is a beautiful Lemurian crystal, and this crystal is very, very special. I got it in Mount Shasta in California, which is one of my spiritual homes where I like to travel, and that will be part of my adventure for 2017. I'm going to spend quite a bit of time on the mountain next summer, Northern Hemisphere. And this crystal has record keepers in it, which are, I don't think I'm going to be able to show them to you in the light, but are small triangles on the face of the crystal. And it holds, you know, silicon chips that we have in our computers are crystals. And the reason they are what hold all the ones and zeros that allow us to have this conversation, which in itself is as miraculous and crazy as me holding up this rock, right? Really, it is. And I love that, you know, people might think that, you know, some of us are a bit strange. We love crystals. Like, well, you know, quartz crystals kind of run the world, actually. You know, all the clocks and all the machinery, because they emit a regular pulse. How is that possible? A rock. And these guys actually hold vast fields of information, which is why they're used as the information chips in our phones and our computers. So this is my dear friend who's just sitting here with me today, and another smaller friend, my Zestolite, that some of you also know, which is, you know, reportedly from another planet, but we won't go there today. So I just thought I'd bring them in because they're part of my team here. And I've got my Azeztolite bowl and my beautiful swords of light. That these are new swords. Beverley loved my last ones, and these are my new ones with shungite and lapis lazuli. So the reason I have these to play with is that what I know is that when you talked about feeling us all together, the crystals actually do emit a resonance, and that can be measured by scientific instruments that start to vibrate the electromagnetic field around our bodies, which is, of course, is a real and measurable thing. And they start to shift the frequency of that so that we can indeed feel that connection and feel that soul and heart resonance between us all when we come into that resonance together. So I'm thinking that, you know, what we might do now actually is a meditation together to really allow that resonance to come fully into being. And I've also got my beautiful Azeztolite bowl here, and I hope that the sound will be okay. I'll play it softly, I've been advised, is the way to go. because we've been talking about this space, so let's go into this space together so that we can really open up what is there for us. Because I've been running groups for many, many years, and I know that every gathering, and Jesus said it, 2 or 3 or more gathered together in the name of consciousness, whether that's Christ consciousness, soul consciousness, whatever that is, then there am I also. There is the energy of that love comes into the field. And that, it's so magic that there's a quote from the Bible that now quantum physics is saying, yes, in the quantum field, we can see that happening. So let's hook up in the quantum field together, and wherever you are, Beverly's just dropped off the radar, we'll just put your feet on the floor and close your eyes if you will, or just gaze softly down. And I'm just going to play the bowl very gently. Perhaps, Bev, you can give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. Thank you. And so just feeling your feet on the floor and imagining that you can feel that light vibration go down through the soles of your feet, through the chakra that's under your feet, and into this crystalline heart of the earth, connecting up with that crystalline energy that is in the earth. We know there are big crystals there in part of our beloved planet. So just feeling ourselves connecting in there, and then coming back up through the body and feeling yourself sitting, the bones of your body, the weight of your body sitting in your chair or wherever you are. As we bring our awareness up into the heart. And just touching base with your heart at the moment, allowing a feeling, a presence, a resonance, just to be in your heart chakra, your heart center, if you will, right now. Even if you want to think of it as the physical heart, just bring your focus to that area. And then leaving part of your focus there, I want to invite you to shift some of your focus up above the heart, out through the top of the head. And if you can imagine a tube of light, often depicted in paintings, tube of light going out the top of your head and way up into the cosmos. Perhaps imagining that the reason we love looking at those millions of stars is that we know that the stars are made of the exact same matter that our physical bodies are made of. So there's a connection, there's a felt resonance somewhere in that quantum field. So out into the stars. And if we imagine our soul, our higher self, our whatever we imagine our soul to be, I know that I always picture mine out there with those billions of stars somewhere. So picturing that now, allowing a picture to come to you rather than asking the mind to make something up. Just allowing that sense of soul to come into your awareness. And usually we experience it as above our head somewhere. And just checking if you are feeling your heart center at the same time as you are feeling that soul resonance or light. And now imagining that you can see, feel a connection between the two, allowing that to form in your mind's eye, your first eye. a connection from the stars down into your heart. And seeing if you can notice all of us as star presences, star beings, star dust, star seeds. See if you can cast your mind awareness out there and see us there. The 37 of us together right now, and whoever else might listen to this in the future, connected. And then feeling those star beams, star lights, if you will, coming down, beaming down into your heart chamber. And just allowing a knowing of the heart chamber to arise, to emerge. And even if there's nothing to see or hear or feel, just if you are willing to just keep your attention there and allow an experience to occur, even if it's a stillness and a seeming emptiness. Allowing the sound to vibrate right into that heart chamber. To fill the heart chamber. And noticing if that heart chamber resonates in your actual physical body as you feel that the body itself is experiencing that connection. And the sound itself is moving through the body. And it's almost as if the cells are vibrating, which they are, at the frequency of the stars. They are in constant motion, our cells and the stars. They are emitting photons of light, our cells and the stars. They are held in place by gravity and in constellations of organs, of galaxies, of fields that are flowing and resonating in the universe and in the universe and galaxy that is our body, our physical body. And feeling that soul star resonance as the cells themselves become more aware of the light, the emitting of the light, the dance of the gravitational pull, the flow of their motion, the dance of their being, the constant creativity and connectivity of those cells, always in motion, always in conscious evolution as they perform their highly complex tasks that we don't even understand, so clearly driven by some consciousness other than our own, or greater than the one that we know of, shall we say. And what if that is love in action, right there in every moment of every breath, of every molecule of blood, every organ? And there's billions of them. We can't even begin to count the ways that they are functioning, dancing, supporting, being us, being in service to our soul's journey through our lives. In this physical realm on this planet. And what if this star field, star being connection in our own cellular makeup is where our soul essence resides? What if the answer lies within, is not about a thought or a knowing, but is actually about this resonance, this being, this flowing, this connecting? So feeling your soul connection in every cell and in all the fluid between the cells, knowing that on every cell there is a receptor site already in place for a chemical called anandamide, which is, ananda is the Sanskrit word for bliss. And that this cell receptor site is just waiting for the knowing of our soul. Some epigenetics authors have called it the God cell, the God consciousness cell, receptor site on the cell. Extraordinary concept, discovery. So just allowing now that soul energy connection to emanate that And so imagining that seeing that energy, that focus, calming back into the heart, if you will, being flowing into the heart chamber, the heart space, the heart resonance. As big as a universe, as small as a heart. And then allowing that field in the body to settle right down, come back in, down through the body, flowing down to the soles of the feet, and gifting that beautiful, magnificent resonance down to Mother Earth, to her center. As we pour the love and the light from the stars. We are the conduits, we are the connectors, the soul resonant energy through the heart, through the cells, the light that we bring, the light that we are, gifting that energy back to Mother Earth. Our contribution to her field, our gratitude for all the ways she loves and supports us with every breath. And maybe you can even experience that flow of energy back from the earth, back to your heart. So just being aware of the breath. And starting to prepare to come back into your room and into our field together. I feel like there's a beautiful field that we're in together, which has, I'm seeing it in my mind's eye as the aurora, the lights, the beautiful aurora lights with all of us stars in it. So I'm loving that. And let's just very gently and graciously open our eyes and come back into your waking conscious state. And just noticing really for yourself if what the body is responding to, what the body is noticing, how the body is feeling. Because this very practice is love in action. You taking the time to be here tonight, to listen to this call, you being willing to open your consciousness to this field, you connecting to the field of your own awareness in this way. This is love in action. This is you loving yourself, the unique being that you are. This is you gifting yourself to yourself, saying, I'm here, I'm giving myself the gift of my own presence. And it's in that connection where we feel that vast soul presence that we are, that we really know that we are. And we start to provide ourselves with experiences of feeling that come to rest in the body and in our own energy spaces, in our, electromagnetic bodies as well. We notice that it changes our experience of reality, of what is real. And this field that we're in now, I don't know about you, but I feel like my body's quite expanded and there's a lot of light inside it, and there's a peacefulness and a love connectedness. This is the love that is real. This is what if we present to our minds and our brains that this is the reality that really is running the whole show and can be the space in which we live more and more of our conscious daily life. So how are we going?
Yes, wow, Aurora. I'm quite blissed out now. I'm like, can I just stay there forever? Can I just stay forever? What it feels like. Deanne is saying, thanks, Aurora. Love your meditations. Feel very grounded and peaceful. Christina is saying, thanks. It was a great meditation. Beata is saying, yay, beautiful meditation, connectees. I feel how my body vibrates at high frequency. Thank you. Thank you, Aurora. You do it so well. Roxanne is saying, I feel like an alive, shimmering disco ball. Thank you. I feel you on that one. I definitely feel you there.
Thank you, everybody who.
So that was wonderful.
Gave those comments. It's so great to feel that response. Yeah, I'm certainly feeling you all there, and it feels beautiful.
Well, this is just, I think this is just the beginning of what's to come, especially in January with those 4 weeks of classes. I think what I'll do quickly, I'm just going to, if you haven't had a chance to go take a look at it, go take a look. We will be updating a little bit more as it comes through. Aurora is literally like, as we go, so like very kind of, oh, this is all structured and planned and in my mind and it's very much like, okay, this is what spirit is guiding and this is what spirit is bringing in now, and this is how the soul is connecting at this moment. And it's also going to be very involved, and this is how people that are involved with it, it's going to be more channeling frequency coming through, like specific for you. And it's something that I've recognized work is when you agree to say, okay, I'm going to be in this space, I'm going to choose this for myself, I'm going to allow more of this love for myself, all of a sudden the floodgates open. It's like, really? You're really saying yes? Really? Let's do this, you know? So, which is quite wonderful.
And I think a number of people on the call have probably studied with me before or done classes with me before, and they know that I can come up with a title or a I can, but you know, a lot of it just comes through in the moment, and you know, that's the beauty of it, I think. So yeah, hopefully people will be willing
and then
to along with the experience. Yeah,
and enjoy the ride. And Nicole and Michelle have just come through. Thank you, love being ours. And Nicole is saying, thank you, Beverley, for making this possible. Well, that's my pleasure. This is what I do, right?
Yes.
Are we there?
Thank you.
Are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Yeah.
So I think we're on time now. We've actually done this perfectly. The timing has been perfect. I don't know if you were watching your clock there or something, but it's so interesting how the time is now 1 hour. We were just perfectly in flow. So I'm going to do a fun little goodbye with Aurora. I think we're going to end the call in a few moments. Just want to say thank you to everyone for showing up, and one of the biggest heartfelt, big heart love, soul love, Aurora, for all of that you've given us today, and an amazingly magical, sparkling ride of bliss, joy, and ecstasy into the love that we are and our soul heart reunion. So thank you for that, Aurora.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure. Thank you, everybody. So much love. Yay.
Yay. So we've just had a final one more. Yes, if anyone wants to say a quick goodbye in the chat, that would be great. You can do that now. It was great to meet you all. See you all online, and I'm sure Aurora, just letting you know, Barbara, I am still, thank you, she's still in the space. Clearly she's still meditating there. Beata saying thank you, Beverley. Roxanne saying thank you, Aurora. Loved every minute. Thank you so much. And thank you all for showing up. We love you. Aurora, I want to give a final kiss goodbye.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Great blessings and love. From your soul to mine to all of ours. We are all beautifully one. Thank you.
Amazing. And also, Christina, final one. Bev, also another Bev on the call. Thank you so much. Christina, thanks a lot for the this lovely moment. moment, and I think I'm going to be signing off now. So remember to just love your life, and loving your life comes from loving yourself, and loving yourself comes from having your soul and your heart in reunion together. So I look forward to playing with you with Aurora in January as well. And if you'd like to hook on and have a look at any of the other shows that we have, that I have, you can just look on Facebook at Love Your Life Show, and you can sign up for many different kinds of shows there as well if you'd like to, with pleasure. This is all about our love journey and contact ourselves more and more, and this is just an open space for us to explore and experiment and play. So lots of love to you all. Lots of love, Aurora. Have an amazing one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.